I see. Dylan.
Good morning. Hey, Carol.
Curt.
So we're doing our new technology thing again. So Trey just mentioned as we start our power hour here, just a little bit of introduction. We had fun the last time, and I think I've become a better operator of the toys we have to use to make this work because we are on Zoom. And I think we have 3 or 4 that are with us on Zoom. We have 8 that are with us on Facebook. So good morning, Facebook. If you want to join us, Trey has just put in the link. If you're with us on Facebook, you're welcome to stay there and you will get the full video and sound. But all of our interaction is going to be on Zoom this morning. If you want to talk, we'll have Q&A at the end. But if you're just wanting to do our power hour, you'll get the full benefit of that right there where you are on Facebook. Okay, so you don't have to move if you're on Facebook. All right, but you may want to just invite some people to join us. So in the comments on Facebook, those are still going to work. If you want to put someone's name, tag them, invite them to join us now, or you can have them watch the recording later. That's fine. But what we're going to do at the end, we're going to have a live Q&A where we can interact and talk. But the first 45 minutes to an hour is really going to be a power hour where we're going to dive in and focus on some specific things where you're not just listening, you're actually listening and then working and listening and working. It's a great habit, and we'll talk some more about that. So there's somebody I need to let somebody. Oh, it's Kerry Daigle. We need to let him in, don't we? Welcome, Kerry Daigle. Let's dive into our topic. So what we're going to do, let me switch screens here on us. Sorry. I'll figure all this out one day and it'll become second nature, but it's just not quite second nature yet. Trey's working on me though. So let's just talk for a second. I would love to hear, I know there's just a few on Facebook, and this is an odd time. We normally do things on Wednesdays, and but this is a power hour. It's not one of our normal trainings, and this is the live one we do once a month. So what is a power hour? Real quick, and Trey warned me I don't need to give you all as much background because some of you have done power hours before. If you've done one before, throw it in the comments. Yes, I've done them. I love them. I know Carol has. Carol leads some. There's a schedule that comes out of scheduled power hours on the you can find it on the Campbell team board. You can find it in events. It's usually floating around Voxer. There's a schedule. Sometimes that doesn't work out for everybody to like be on at a specific time. So what we have on our website, makealife.com/power hour, is we have a recorded version that you can do whenever you need to go do it. Now, if you're a night owl and you're going to go do it at 2 a.m, just warnings. A lot of this it's interactive. So we're asking you to call, get on the phone, text people. Don't assume that all of your people are awake at the same hour you are if you're one of those night owls. So try and do it during an hour where you can actually work and do some things, okay? So that's what a power hour is. This is the one we do once a month. where I want to just make myself totally available for you at the end, because I don't want you to leave with questions unanswered. Okay, that's not fair for you as entrepreneurs and leaders. You need to be able to leave with your questions answered. So let's dive in here and go at it. So that's what we're going to do at the end is that Q&A. So hold your questions, write them down, think about them, and Trey put the Zoom link in here, makealife.com/power hour. Join us on Zoom if you want to interact with us at the end, okay? All right, so get out your pens, papers, whatever you use to stay organized. Okay, is it when you sit down and you want to take notes, you want to take action? Here's the things I'd like for you to have in front of you for the next 45 minutes. I'd love for you to have a pen and piece of paper. If you're all digital, I still think you may need to take down some notes and write down some things. And whatever you're going to use to, where's your list? We'll talk about that in a minute. Get your list, your memory jogger out. You need your phone so you can text. You need your iPad phone or paper calendar so you can calendar things. I want you to have all that right there on the working surface right in front of you so you don't have to go find that in a few minutes, okay? Good grief. Hey, Trey, I'm going to make you a co-host because I didn't know
Yeah,
we
that'd
were
be
going to
great.
have
I
to
can make that happen.
admit people. And I'm
Thanks.
having to admit people, and that way you can do that while I'm talking.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, there you go. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do now that you've got your desktop and your things arranged.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah,
All right,
hey guys,
there you go.
I apologize. There were some of you waiting in the waiting room, and I didn't know you were there. So sorry about that. Maybe we can do a password next time so we don't have to worry about you all jumping over. But Trey's going to take care of that and play co-host. So thanks for being there, and we're going to dive in here. So we're going to work on managing your relational capital. I really believe that yes, you have to invest a little bit of money, $52. You won't go broke getting started in this business. But we all learn to manage our money wisely. We're told how to do it, whether we do it or not. You pay your taxes, you save money, you tithe, you give to those that are less fortunate, and then you spend less than you make. Okay. And you learn how to manage your time with calendars and time management courses and all this, but nobody ever teaches you how to manage your relational capital. And it's the number one most important thing in our business. Okay. So that really involves making a list. Santa Claus right now, he's making a list and he's checking it twice, So just remember that right now. You need to have your list, and you don't do it once and you're done. You keep checking it. You keep going over that list because it's a static, living, breathing list. And you can hit that QR code, or you can go to makealife.com/memory jogger. Not right now. You can go ahead and take a picture of the screen and that QR code if you want to, or jot down that link. But if you've never made a memory jogger or you don't feel like you're good at it, we have a whole training session on how to do that and how you can use Google and create a Google sheet that you can collaborate with your upline and your mentors and have an amazing journey. But you don't have to worry about that right now. But that's something you can go back to. That's not what I want you to do right this minute. Okay. I'll tell you about diving into that in just a second. So whether you have a list or you don't, I want you to think about this right now. This is a special, unique aspect of this call. It really, excuse me, you really could do it any time of the year. But what I want you to do is I want you in the next 15 minutes, or maybe 7 or 8 minutes. I forgot what the timer said. I think it's 7 minutes. I want you to text at least 10 people. And I don't want the phone to be heavy. I don't want it to be laborsome or burdensome. I just want you to text somebody and let them know how much you appreciate them. Who is somebody you appreciate for befriending your kids, for being nice as a neighbor, for always having a smile at the dry cleaners or whatever, just to start a new conversation to build relational capital. It's not a time to sell Juice Plus right this minute. It's time to start a conversation with somebody that's going to go on to the second, third, fourth, and fifth conversation, and you're going to find you a new person that'll partner with you in this business to be healthy and partner in life, okay? You can use what's on the screen, or you can come up with your own phrase, but for the next 7 minutes, I want you to text at least 10 people. Okay, ready? Go. I'm going to talk to you and coach you just a little bit. So while keep doing it, keep getting your names and just type that out once, and then you can cut and paste it. Would you all like for me to put that back on the screen, or Trey could type that? Let me put that back on the screen for you guys. Okay, hold on. So there's the text you want to have. And I tell you what I'll do. I think if my magic will work, I can put the timer right there on top of that. Glad to have all you guys on Zoom. At the end, be writing down your questions that you want to ask so we can have some interaction at the end, okay? But keep working on telling 10 people how much you appreciate them right now. It's the beginning of a conversation of you connecting with them and doing life together, inspiring them to healthier living and having them partner with you to create additional income for their families or life changing generational income, depending on what kind of investment they want to make. Okay. If you have a question, you can type it in the comments. And Trey is my buddy and our partner in crime in this adventure right now, and he will be there to answer your questions. We got about my timer started over, so we got about another minute here. Here's the text you're working on, and I took the timer off. I'm just gonna talk us down through another minute because I got out of sequence here. But so as you look at this, yeah, Santa Claus's head is cut off. That's kind of funny, huh? Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, and Santa Claus got his head cut off by Zoom. Oh, what a crazy thing! Um, so, one of the things I want you to think about is this is not magic. There's so many ways that you might like to say you appreciate somebody in a better way that sounds more like you. This was just my starter text, something that I thought was wonderful, but you can use your own verbiage. Okay. Let's move on to the next category. Let me let's get back so we can interact here a little bit, and let's move on to the next category. And the next thing we want to do in our power hour, I'd love for you to get out your calendar. If you're like me, I moved to a digital calendar once I had my iPad. The phone wasn't quite big enough for me to look at and spread out and plan. Hey, those of you on Zoom, hold up your calendar. What kind of calendar do you use? I see Melinda and Carol. Carol, are you paper or digital? Carol's got a paper calendar. Melinda's got her growth journal. Okay, Lori's on her phone. Yeah. What you got there, Patrick? Are you like a Gen Z guy and got your phone going, or what you got? All right. I know Daigle's got a paper calendar going over there. He's a master on his phone too. But Daigle, I guarantee you, Daigle's got the fanciest pen of anybody in the group going right now. So get your calendars out. And it doesn't matter which one you use. You just have to have it as an effective weapon, whichever one you decide to use. Okay. So what we're going to focus in on here in the next couple minutes is we're going to focus in on our calendar. What does that look like? We're going to think about different types of events. And I'm going to give you some little bit of food right here to feed you for this next 7 minutes. Your calendar is powerful because if I were to ask, if someone asked me, how do you decide if somebody's successful or not, or how do you know if they're being productive and efficient with their life? All I really need to see, and maybe it's the electronic statement today, but it used to be, I say, if you can show me your checkbook and your check stubs, and I could see your calendar, I can really see into your efficiency and what's important to you in your life and how wise you spend your time. So I want you to get your calendar out, but then what you're going to do is you're going to think about events that are coming up. I want you to think about there's about 3 or 4 categories of events. Okay, there's small local events that you may already know about that are coming up in your area. This one's already passed. It's just an example. Could be a sourdough event. It's got Deanna Christofferson's picture on it. She's hosting one. There may be one of those coming up, or you might be having one in your kitchen. Okay. You can go to boards and see all kinds of events at the Growth and Action campaign that are going on. Go to Campbell Team, go to events. You can go to Voxer and go to the events group in Voxer. We've got a boot camp coming up. Carrie Daigle's going to be there. I'm going to be there. It's going to be a boot camp like none other that you've ever seen before. And it's going to be, and maybe during our overview time, I'll let Carrie give you a little teaser of what's going to happen at that event. I'll get him prepared and he can join me on screen during our Q&A time at the end. But we're going to do it different. It's going to be like this power. Every speaker is going to have an activity at the end, so you don't wait till Monday morning to go home and start building your business. You're going to go home engaged, interacting with a plan, and the promoter of all promoters is going to share with you how to promote, build, invite. How do you get people to show up? So right now, back to our Power Hour moment here. What I want you to do, so you got boot camps coming up, you got Juice Plus Live coming up in San Diego, but what I want you to do is I want you to get your calendars out and let's look right now. First, I want you to look close range. I want you to look the rest of November. And I didn't have a slide for it, but this includes virtual events, guys. This could be a virtual event. And there's one other thing you need to add to those types of events I just showed you. When I first got in this business, I learned 2 things in the beginning, and one of them scared me to death, and one of them made my business explode. The first thing I learned was when I went to a meeting and there was somebody up there that was super successful, that was making it happen, I left there saying, hey, you know what? The man with the marker makes the money. And that was because we had a whiteboard and a marker. Now it's the man with the Zoom mic or whatever or the microphone or the camera on them or whatever. But it's the one that's teaching that's really the one that's the most successful, And you don't have to be a hero, but you need to be able to do Zooms and stuff. And what I learned is if I had people that were ready and I was talking to, and there wasn't an event coming up, sometimes I had to do the event. I had to create the event. I might call Carrie, or I might call, Melinda or Carol or somebody to help me do it that was more experienced than I was, that could be a speaker, but I would make sure the event happened because I had people that needed to see it and hear it now. So don't leave out the fact that you can make an event happen if there's not one. So get your calendar out. What events of the ones you know about can you go ahead, put on your calendar? That's going to force you, as that event gets closer, to invite people to make that event impactful for you. Let's do November and December, the close-up stuff. And then let's make sure Juice Plus Live in San Diego is on your calendar. Are you coming to the Peachtree Boot Camp? What are you doing, in the next 6 to 12 months? Let's make your calendar come alive right now. So when you get off this call this morning, you've got events on your calendar that you need to start right now inviting people to come to, okay? 7 minutes. Ready? Go. All right, you got 6.5 minutes left, but I want you it like when there's 1 minute left, I'm gonna call on a couple of you to tell me what events you put on your calendar that you're most excited about. So be thinking about that. I want to hear from some of you. I want to know the event you're most excited about and who is the person on your dream team or that you think could be the next amazing person in your business that you're going to make sure is at that event. Be thinking about that. These guests could be prospects that are don't know anything about the product and you want them to hear about the product. Maybe you're thinking customer for them, but you're going to lay out all the options so they've got choices to make. Partner Plus to me seems to be the best place to start, but they have to choose. So it could be a customer that knows nothing about Juice Plus, or it could be somebody that believes in the product, that they believe in it so much that you want them to see what an amazing business this would be for them to partner with you. With this, Carrie Daigle calls it the goat of nutrition of all time, the greatest of all time. We have the goat of nutrition. Carrie's teaching me how to talk like the young people talk because he's the OG. Is that right, Carrie? I don't know why being an original gangster is a good thing, but it seems to be in today's world. See, Patrick's laughing at me. He probably thinks that was a dad joke. We got about a minute left before I'm going to call on a couple of you guys. And if you want to share on Zoom, I can only see and invite the people in that have their cameras on. So if you want to, when I call on you, unless you're like, you know, one of those that does Zoom before you get dressed in the morning, I understand why your camera's off. But if you're presentable if you're with us, baseball cap, makeup, no makeup, whatever. But we'd love for you to join us. I may be able to pull in just your audio, but I don't see how to select you. Honestly, if your camera's not going, I don't see how to pull you in to the audio. So would love to have a couple of you share. And I'm not bashful. I can pick on people if we need to, like to choose people to help us. But let me see who might want to join us. All right, let's go. All right, I'm going to take us off of this slide. I'm going to try and do some magic here. Let's see if we can make it work. I'm having fun learning these new skills and stuff. Let's see. Who wants to join us? Who would share with us without me having to ask? Who would share with us an event and a person that you are want to have at the next event? Who would share first? Somebody unmute yourself, speak up, and I'll throw you on the camera.
I'll go quickly because I got to go to an appointment. Can you see me or hear me?
Who is this?
This is Lisa.
Okay, Lisa, go ahead. We can hear you. We can't see you. We can hear you though.
Oh, okay. So anyway, the person that I'm thinking of is Maggie. I'm hoping to get her on I was with her Wednesday, talked to her yesterday, hoping to get her on a third three-way event this Tuesday, Monday or Tuesday.
Yep.
And then on the 5th, I have a protein ball exchange with I'm just still inviting. I got a bunch of people I've invited, but I'm excited about that because I think I'm going to be handing out recipes and beforehand so that they can come with different protein ball recipes instead of a cookie exchange.
Awesome. Thanks, Lisa. That's
So-
great. Awesome. Who else would do it? Now we got you on camera, Lisa. We see you're exercising and being productive at the same time. Who else would join us? All right. Somebody else has an event and they got somebody they want to get to that event. Who's going to share?
I will, Curt. It's Lori
Alright.
Davies.
Go for it.
So we have, I've already got a gut health tomorrow and an onboarding for a new partner. And I've got my 2 gut healths set for December, one during the week and one on a weekend. And we like to use Wendy's, Wow for a watch party. And I think that's going to be perfect time to introduce and talk about the shred and getting people prepared for January. And my dream person is I've got a couple. I've got a midwife, Ruth, who I'm thinking of going there and offering the sourdough where she's at because she's in a different city. And then Andrea, who has she's got a couple of businesses, a spa and an optical place. So these are people that I want to get active and going and
Cool.
and yeah.
And
just,
so what's the date of the next event you're going to try and get them to?
the either December 19th or the 28th.
Okay.
Or Wendy on the 3rd. Those are my December events. So I've
Okay.
got at least 3 in December. But we also have decided we're coming to Peachtree. So
Pete, that's awesome. Can't wait to have you there. That's
looking
awesome, Lori.
forward to that.
You going to drag Bill too, or it's going to be a girls' weekend?
Yeah, no, the 2 of us are coming.
Okay.
And we've had we'll be nailing that down. But we're like,
Awesome.
we got to go.
All right. Thanks. Well, anybody else want to share?
I'll share.
Who's that, Carol?
It's Carol. It's Carol.
All right.
So I actually have a follow-up today with somebody named Carrie that's a longtime Raving Fan customer that told me she wants to join in the business. She keeps trying to put it off till next year, but we're going to try to meet Monday or Tuesday. So I got to confirm which day works for her next week because I'm going to convince her that now's the time and get her to go ahead and join. And then I have several things on my calendar for December. I'm planning to do a watch party for Julie Hertz Zoom on December 5th.
Okay.
It's really good. I was on it live. She's not recording these Zooms. So it's really good Zoom. If you don't know about it, you need to find out about that one because that's a good one. And
just out of curiosity, can they find out about that? Is it on Campbell Team boards, or where's Julie putting that out? Do you know?
It's been in the chat, the NMD chat.
Okay.
She mentioned it yesterday that was the date she was going to do the next one. I haven't seen the flyer yet, but
Okay.
I think she just did it 2 nights ago.
Awesome.
So I'm sure the flyer will be coming out there. And then finally, there's a networking group that I'm a part of that they're having an event, like an ornament exchange kind of thing. So I will be there. And we always, at all these networking events where it's all of us there, a referral group,
Yep.
we're sharing our business cards. And that's where I'm finding new people to connect with and building those relationships. And I'm coming to San Diego and I'm coming to Peachtree Boot Camp.
Awesome. Thanks.
And bringing team.
And bringing team. That's great. Thanks, Carol. Okay, here's what we're going to do now. We're going to keep moving because we're going to share some more on the next ones too. So let's go back to the next step. Are y'all doing okay so far on the steps? All right. This is my favorite by far, hands down, number one most important tool I use in the business day in and day out. If I only had a phone and people that would let me be there, you're gonna love this term. When I sponsor somebody, my number one goal, guess what it is? It's to get them to trust me enough so that I can become their people investment advisor. You got a financial advisor, you've got a time management person, but we talked in the beginning that you have to learn how to use relational capital to maximize this business. And if someone will trust you enough to share their relationships with you, when you're a leader in this business and you understand the power of this business, you can help them blow their business up beyond what they ever imagined. And that's the power of a three-way phone call. Again, if you've never done a three-way phone call and don't understand it, it's so easy, it's so simple. We've got training, youtube.com/makealife. That's our YouTube channel. If you sort through the videos, playlists, topics, there's one on there on mastering the three-way call that will help you. There are other people that train better than I do. I'm just telling you a resource, okay? So, what I want you to do, we're not going to make three-way calls right now. You don't have time. You have 7 minutes. But what I'd like for you to do, real quick, the three-way call, you don't have to do anything but play matchmaker. Let's say Carol Garner is your mentor and you've got you're frontline to Carol and you've got a new prospect. All you're going to do with that prospect, you've got to meet Carol. You're going to put Carol on the moon, tell them how amazing they are. Carrie Daigle's the master at this. Just build her up, and your prospect, she's going to be like salivating to meet Carol when you're done explaining how awesome she is. And then you're going to call Carol and say, Carol, Judy is amazing. She could be my next superstar. She's so excited to meet you. So you build her up to Carol. You set the call up. And one of the things I want you to do, if your upline or your mentor has not given you a link to their calendar, that they don't have a Calendly, and what's the free one called, Trey? Timely or something? What's it called?
It's called TidyCal.
TidyCal. Yeah. You can use Calendly. TidyCal is free. Calendly's better. You got to pay a little bit for it, I think. There is a free version, but it doesn't do much. And then you can do it through Google Calendar, but you can just send that Calendly link out and they can book times for you. So your upline, your mentor that's serious about this business, they owe it to you to get a calendar scheduling app for you, because chasing people down through text and voicemail is crazy. So you may even, if you don't have that yet, the first thing I want you to do in this 7 minutes is text your upline or mentor and say, hey, would you mind, do you have a calendar link so I can, when I call people and want to schedule a three-way phone call, instead of playing ping pong back and forth, I'd love to be able to schedule a call with you because I don't want to drag my prospect through that swamp. So if you don't have that, first text I want you to do in the next 7 minutes, text your upline and ask them if they have a link to their calendar they can share or if they'd be willing to get it. Number one. And number two, I want you to write down 5 three-way phone calls. I want you to write down and even begin to schedule 5 three-way phone calls that you want to do with your upline and mentor. And it's okay if you talk about the product, but I want you to do 5 three-way phone calls, maybe 10 if you're aggressive, if you get done with 5. And these calls are people that are you looking for the 5 amazing people that are going to be your sales coordinator leg so you can be a national marketing director. They may fall back and be a customer, but if you don't ever think big and share with them what our business is doing, and OMG, if you were on the call that Carrie and I were on yesterday with our CEO, Travis Garza, he is so excited. Yes, we're putting out fires with the digital transformation and our technology change. It's been crazy, painful, all those kind of things. The technology is going to be awesome when we're done. But if you only saw what was next, the next chapter of this company, you would you'd be, maybe more excited than you were about Juice Plus the first day you heard about it. There's the product innovation pipeline is unbelievable. And so I can't say anymore. We had to sign another non-disclosure agreement. So I can't talk anymore, but I'm excited about it. So who are the 5 people you want to be leaders on your team to help you and your family gain that position of national marketing director and create generational, life-changing, reliable, faithful, consistent income for your family? Okay. 7 minutes. Go for it. Okay, we're going to do quick at the end of this. When there's 1 minute left, I want you to tell me, you can just say the first name if you don't want to expose the person. Who is the one person that you've got to get on a three-way phone call in the next week to share with them a bigger picture? You want someone on there, your upline, your mentor. It's not that you can't do a good job, but you need validation. You need that third-party validation to share with them how big and what the potential of this business is. Somebody who's already built the business you're trying to build, to get on the phone with them. Okay. So I want a few of you just to share that, maybe just share the first name of somebody that you're going to calendar, schedule, and get your upline mentor, whoever that person is that you want to do a three-way phone call for validation. I need at least one name. You're going to try and you're doing 5. You're going to schedule 5, 10 if you get done with 5, but you're going to share at least one when we're done here in just a minute. Okay. Remember, Trey's on standby in the chat. So if you have a question, feel free to ask it. If there's something you're really excited about, share it in the chat. I mean, we have to learn in today's world to be excited on a Zoom call with our voice, but also to be engaged in a community online, because we can join so much of a larger audience, but sometimes you can only type. So, you got to do it. So share in the comments, Facebook, Zoom, wherever you want to share, and then be prepared here in about 3 minutes to share one person that you've got to get on a Zoom call in the next week. I mean, a three-way call, sorry. Okay, you got 1 minute before I'm going to ask a few of you on Zoom to share who is your one person that you're going to make sure before Thanksgiving you're going to grab your mentor, grab their calendar, and get on a three-way phone call. You know what? You can do what we did in the beginning. Y'all can just love on them and appreciate them together and start the process. Remember, not only do you not want to propose on the first date, it doesn't work very well either. Even if you think you're that good and you're going to slam the door, you're going to run more people off. And if you invest in the relationships and make it a process and talk to a lot of people, it's so much easier. So much better. All right. We are going to switch gears here. We're going to go back to our Zoom scenario. I got Carol up there right now. She's up there from before on the screen. Carol, you want to go first since you're already there?
Sure.
Okay, see.
So
She's going to get me back though at some point, probably.
I don't know if I can guarantee it'll happen before Thanksgiving because I don't control the other person's schedule.
Yep. Or you want it to.
But
Yep.
yeah. Actually, I have several, but I have a couple that I just have been talking to. Talked to the husband and the wife separately, and then talked to them actually together this week. And
Cool.
Curt, I sent you a text because you're the upline. I want to connect with them because of the husband, and
Okay, cool.
I think hearing from you or a man, would help
Let's do
along
it.
with them.
Let's do
So
it.
that's probably my number one right now. And I have one more person that is also knows them and been talking to her separately. So I might get all three of them on there.
Awesome. You can you can give me an update tomorrow at the game while we cheer on the dogs.
Okay.
All right.
If I can get to them today.
I hear you. All right. Who else will share? Who's up next? Come on, somebody. Y'all are so bashful.
I will speak.
Ah, do it.
So my hairdresser, who I've been talking to for 6 years, and
Yep.
she keeps saying, yes, I'll do it, and then putting it off and putting it off. And I already reached out to someone, my upline,
Yeah.
to see about booking that. If that doesn't work, Curt, you're up.
I'm up. Okay, I'm ready, willing, and able. And y'all, you can get my calendar link, and we can figure it out.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. Who's next? Who else is up? Let's do one more.
Okay, I'll go.
You're gonna go.
I'm gonna go.
All right, do it.
Curt's already done 3 connection calls with me this month, but I have one more. I've got 2 more for November, but Costanza's meeting with a prospect right now. And so we're going to do a connection call later. And then she has her second meeting with 2 business prospects for Costanza today and 2 for me. So we've got 4 possibilities for connection calls next week with either the dailies or with you, Mr. Beavers.
Cool. Awesome. All right. I want to know who's going to go. I want to know who's going to jump at this first. Is Trudy or Patrick going to share with somebody? They're going to get on the phone with the master, Carrie Daigle, this week. Which one's going to go first?
Already scheduling it with Carrie. So
who's that? Patrick?
And I already got a list of names. We're going Sydney, Daniel, Weston, Josh, Bobby. That's the first 5 we're calling whenever we can do our time.
Jam it. Awesome. All right. Let's go. Thanks, Patrick, for jumping in there. All right, let's go back and let's hit our next couple things, and then we'll get to the Q&A here at the end. Okay. Promise. All right. What we're doing next is we're going to create a plan. We'll create or plan some social media content. Okay. I don't know if you're like into social media. Some of you are, some of you aren't. Some of you are like Facebook people. Some of you are Instagram people. Some of you were Twitter. Now you're X people. I don't know. Whatever platform you use. Let me just give you some ideas. But what I want you to do is you don't have to post anything right now. You can, if you want to take the next 7 minutes and post something. I mean, you could even post. I just got done I'm in the middle of a power hour, and it's the thing that I'm doing to hold me accountable to do the things that make me productive in my business every day. I mean, if you need something to post. But here you go. But I want you to be you. Share your story. Don't overthink it. Don't try and get something perfect. There's content on Trello, social media boards. There's content on boards, Campbell team, and whoever your upline's boards app is. And try this 10-4-1 rule. Some of you are like, you're like, Curt, I'm way better at social media than you are. It's fine. Take the next 7 minutes and go for it. I'm just trying to help those that are maybe not as ready to go do this. Reshare 10 times other people's content. Go find something that's amazing. Go find something Patrick's posted, Victoria's posted, Carol's posted, Amy's posted, Mick and Jenny have posted, Carrie Daigle's posted. Might be Mickey posting it. I don't know. Find something that got posted, reshare it. And then create 4 original pieces of content that's you. That might be, it doesn't have to be business. I mean, these are like you're not trying to like post a picture of the bottles and say, give me a dollar, give me a dollar, give me $10, $10, $30, $30, $89.95 this month. You're not trying to get on there and sell something every time you post. Create some, it might be you and your child, you and your grandchild. Who knows? There's no telling who it might be. But that's what you're trying to do with this. And then one post out of your 10 can be, directly about the product. Maybe it's your, Black Friday specials coming up. So set the table on your site right now. Post some good stuff, some Thanksgiving stuff, some holiday stuff, some football stuff, some, turkey, autumn, fall, leaves, beautiful landscapes, what you and your family are doing, and then be ready for, then you've got your site, your viewers tuned in to an amazing life, an amazing family, and the cool stuff you're doing. And then they're going to be receptive to one amazing Black Friday post when it comes up. But if you've tried to sell them 10 days in a row, the Black Friday thing might just pass through because they're not paying attention to you. Okay. So take the next 7 minutes, plan your social media content, plan a strategy, because I'm telling you, post it and they will come will not work. It's interaction, it's engagement. There's got to be thought put into this. Okay. And if you're not creative, get on there right now and engage and follow some people that you want to start having a conversation with. Just go in and say, great picture, or wow, it looks like you and your family are having fun, with some people on your social media following that you would like to engage with more. There's so many ways you can invest, but it's not a post it and they will come strategy. I promise. Okay. Ready? 7 minutes. Here we go. Get your social media channel ready. If you're not organized, there's all kind of tips and tricks on boards and on the hub with social media ideas. Use that 10-4-1 strategy. I want that back on the screen for a minute. Would you like that back up there while you're thinking? I can put that back up there for you. So it messes up my timer, but I'll still put it back up for you. Let me see how can I do that? Well, anyway, I'll put it back up. I don't know why it keeps. There it is. You got 6 minutes left. I'll keep it up. I'll keep up with it for you. It's just a matter of it's dripping on that audience, just like it is conversations. You're not trying to close somebody on that post. You're trying to get them interested in conversing with you, and you take it offline into Facebook Messenger, into text messages, and hopefully into a real phone call. Yes, the real phone calls work the best. It's so amazing how the younger generation that thought they could conquer the world with their thumbs and never use their tongue again, they're figuring out that the phone is amazing, like using it like a phone, And that's how Carrie and I are dinosaurs. We're old people in this business, and that's how we built our business. We used the telephone to talk into, It's what an amazing idea. But social media should be used to start that process, not to finish it. Social media starts and finds and creates conversations. It doesn't finish them. Think about that when you're posting on social media. That was crazy. Y'all didn't hear anything I just said about putting a small timer on the screen, did you? I was talking to you guys. I said some amazing stuff and it was muted. I just figured that out. But I said that Trey and I will figure out a way to put a small timer. So if there's a tip like this, we can have the timer and the tip on the screen, because every time I try and go back and forth, the 7 minutes starts over again. So you all have 3.5 minutes left. You're halfway through your 7 minutes because you don't have a timer. And we have one more 7-minute session, and then we are then we're going to go to Q&A. Okay. So be thinking about questions you want to ask me, and I will try to answer them. I know Daigle has to go at some point, but if I don't know the answer, he probably does. But I promise you, we'll get you the answer if we don't know it. All right, 2.5 minutes. And we're going to move on to our next topic in 2.5 minutes. We're going to have a little bit of a repeat because of this special time of year on our next section. We're not going to do any stories or contributions from the crowd here at the end of this. We're so close to Q&A. You got 1.5 minutes left to finish up some social strategy. Let me tell you something funny. Here's a funny. How many of you like to see yourself, a video of yourself on social media? Do you all like to watch videos of yourself? If you do, I guess you're pretty vain if you like to watch yourself. I don't know, but I hate seeing myself on a camera. But what I figured out was it was amazing that, I'd put on a hat, walk out the door and go to Starbucks to meet somebody, and we'd sit there 3 feet from each other and talk. But I'd be so hesitant to get on the screen with somebody. And I figured out that really is what I look like. And I've been doing it at people have been staring at me at Starbucks forever. And I didn't worry about it. And I'm like freaked out because I guess I wasn't seeing myself in the mirror or seeing what they were seeing at Starbucks. But we have to overcome our fear of being on these cameras and being on the social media. It's part of it. It's who we are today. And it's just one of the ways we have to communicate. All right. I'm going to declare time's up on this one, and we're going to go to the next. We're going to go to the next thing. And this is the last one, and it's follow up. And this is pretty generic, but I don't know who said it, and probably many people have said it, and Daigle may know who the quote is, but one of the first things I heard in this business, you hear different people say different things, but I remember so clearly the first week I was in the business, somebody saying, the fortune's in the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. You can sling all the mud you want to sling, but loose mud floating around everywhere doesn't do any good. You gotta follow up with all the slinging and stirring up you do. Okay. So what I want you to do, I want you to think about your calendar, your to-do list. You got to have some kind of system, and I got to figure out some kind of code word, because what I've learned that works best for me is I kind of live in the Apple ecosystem, the phone, iPad, watch, all that stuff. Some of you may live in the Google system. It doesn't matter. Whichever world you live in, if you're into the technology, some of you talk to the ALEXA person. Some of you talk to the GOOGLE. I talk to SIRI, so I'm not going to say it right now because everything in my office would go off, or might turn the lights off, or it might turn Zoom off if I tell her to do something. But that's how I remember to do stuff. That's how I remember to do stuff is I say, hey, blank, SIRI, hey, ALEXA, remind me to call this person back. As soon as if I was called on the phone with Carol and I knew we needed to schedule that call with a three-way call, I'd say, hey, SIRI, remind me to call Carol on Monday to make sure we get that call scheduled. And I'd be done, and I'd know it was on my calendar. So you need a follow-up system. That's all I'm saying. During this time, if you didn't get to all the people you want to make another list of people you want to send an appreciation message to, that's great. I'm going to let, when we, before we're going to do this 7 minutes, and as soon as this is over, before we start our Q&A, I'm going to let Carrie have just a minute to share. So let's do this last part of the Power Hour. Just work on your follow-up, schedule it. If you don't have a system, think about the system you're going to use, activate some things that you haven't done. Who have you talked to in the past week that you haven't followed up on? I don't know. 7 minutes. Go. So Carrie has to go in a minute, but as soon as this is done, Carrie and I are like friends from 35 years. And he is one of the masters at negotiating and promoting and just helping paint a picture. And he was on that call I was on yesterday. So I know he's excited. So I'm excited about Carrie sharing here in about 6 minutes. And just for those of you that are, while you're working, I'm going to be your background music because I just want to keep talking while you're working. Keep working on your follow-up. But I want you to think about this Peachtree Boot Camp coming up. And I know Carrie may talk about that a little bit. But do you know that the Peachtree Boot Camp, one of the reasons that we do it where we do it is that it's 20 minutes from the biggest airport, busiest airport in the world. They're like, there's a flight in and out of the Atlanta airport, I think every 16 seconds. I think I've had to make one connecting flight in 37 years because you can fly anywhere nonstop to and from Atlanta. And our Peachtree Boot Camp is literally 20 minutes from the Atlanta airport on an Uber ride, maybe less with no traffic. So don't think just because you don't live in Georgia, you can't make it. The whole Peachtree Boot Camp started to bring my leadership in from all over the country via plane, boat, train, however they had to get here in 1989 to plan our year out and get on the same page together. So I know, like Melinda said, or somebody said they were coming, Lori said they were coming from the Houston area. I guess they live in the Hill Country now, but they used to live in Houston area. But I mean, it's so easy to get to the Peachtree Boot Camp, no matter where you live. And it's just a cheap flight to Atlanta because there's probably 10 flights a day to Atlanta from wherever you live. So just jump on a plane and come. I mean, even more excited. Do you know that this is the first time that Mr. Kerry Daigle is doing this with us? I mean, I can't believe that I've known him this long, and it took me this long to get the courage up to ask him to come. So we got 4 minutes, and then the man himself, the man, the myth, and the legend is going to share with us a little bit about just what he sees. And then we'll have plenty of time. I want to do Q&A. I want each and every one of you to have a chance. Whether you have upline that's helping you right now or you don't, I'm going to be here for 30 minutes at least just to make sure you have your questions answered, you're comfortable in this business, and you know what your next steps are, because that's important to me. All right, a little over 3 minutes. What are you doing with your follow-up? I guarantee you, if you just asked yourself this one question, what all people did I come across this past week? Just take your pad out or paper out right now and think about, okay, today is Friday. since last Friday. So go back. If you have to get your calendar out, fine. Hopefully your memory works. Go back to last Friday. Think about where you were last Friday. Last Saturday, I was at football game. Worked in the yard that morning. Did 2 Zoom calls. Just so, who all did you connect with in the past week that you didn't follow up with? Even if it's like, hey, I had so much fun seeing you at the ball game. Hey, I thought about you when I was cutting my grass. You got that new amazing lawnmower. I see you riding on it all the time in the neighborhood. Or maybe it's a neighbor that's brought you food when you were sick and you've never returned the favor. Walk over there and take a smoothie to them. Hey, I just made me a smoothie. Thought you might like to try this. I don't know. It's so important to follow up. It's kind of a sin to think about. If you're good at stirring up stuff, doesn't it seem like sin to stir up stuff and never follow up with it? That's where the gold is. That's where the money's made. But we do it. I mean, I'm guilty too. I can stir up more crap. And if I didn't have the SIRI to talk to, Lord have mercy. I mean, it would just fall through the crack. I have to have somebody to activate something. And I don't know how I did it before I had bells, dingers, and whistles. Because I mean, I don't remember to do stuff. And the alarm goes off. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to do that. So think about that. And Kerry's so good with his paper planner and stuff. I remember I was too. I mean, I was faithful with a paper system, and I remember losing that, leaving it on the airplane. Security, I couldn't get back on the airplane, and I felt like it was like in November or something. So I had 11 months of the year, receipts, notes, people's names, and I lost that thing. And I'm like, there's no backup in the cloud. What am I going to do? I went into a fit of panic, and so I love paper. I have my paper journal next to my Bible with my quiet time, but I have gotten fairly automated with my business stuff. Because if I lost my calendar for the year, I don't know what I would do without that. And I've lost my iPad before, but the cloud had me backed up. All right, 1 minute. We're gonna wrap up this part of the Power Hour, and hopefully you're doing your follow. Sorry I talked so much right there. I love being with you guys and love having community together. So hopefully my talking didn't keep you from getting stuff done. Okay. All right, KD, let's go ahead and turn this timer off and let's move to put you over here on the big screen. There he is. KD.
Yes, sir. How you doing, buddy? Listen, I'm following all this, and I've got I've got 4 pages of notes. And to think, okay, my wife Mickey and I have been in the business 35 years, but Curt and Laurie have been in the business 37 years. So what does that mean? That means he has 2 years more experience than I have. So I usually come on these kind of calls every chance I get so I can listen, not speak, but listen. But today, I just felt, Curt, that I needed to make a couple of comments. One thing that you'll learn from me if you don't know who I am, I'm very transparent. It's either black or white. There's no gray area. You're either going to like what I have to say or you're not going to like it. But I really don't care, because what I will do is tell you the truth. I'm very transparent. So one thing that I've learned, I come from a business and a profession of combat sports. And I don't know if you're familiar with combat sports. Most of the female audience is not, but now they're moving and watching a lot of it, believe it or not. But in combat sports, if you come out second, you're not doing real well. Okay. So
Yep.
The key is what I've had to learn my entire career is how to win. So why am I telling you this? I'm looking at the audience that's on here right now, and I'm thinking about one thing. How many of you, if you could just raise your hand, just raise your hand, let me know. I only see 3 people with live videos. So
Some have their
probably 3
cameras turned off, yeah.
Okay. So if I could see, if you're a member of Curt's team, just raise your hand. Okay. So the majority of you probably listening in are a member of Curt's team. You have an opportunity with Curt to build it big. So today we're talking about you coming on and watching this particular, getting involved in this particular Zoom. The key is, did you get involved because you wanted to see what Curt had to say? Or are you really interested in maybe just building a big business? So what should you do? Now, this is the promoter coming out in me, okay? Number one, you should have been on the phone calling 10 of your key people and said, you've got to be on this call with Curt personally. Calling them up and saying, you need to be on this call with Curt. I want you to be on with me. I would be proud to have you. That's how you build a big team. That's how you build it big. That's how you build it strong. So when you got a guy 35, 37 years of experience, and he's willing to pour his heart out for you, and you're not going to tune in and listen, we have built a multi-million-dollar business because we listened to our mentors 35 years ago. And now we still do the same thing. That's what I was doing earlier, wasn't I? I didn't want to speak today, honestly. I've just got pages of notes. But here's what I wanted to mention to you about the boot camp that's coming up in Peachtree. Now, Curt might get a little nervous with me saying this, but we talked about it a little bit. We're going to blow the doors down. What we're going to teach you how to do is to get that checkbook to have more digits in it. We're going to show you how to build a big business. We're going to open the doors and the floodgates like nothing you've ever seen before. We're going to pour out the information we need to teach you how to build and how to recruit. Because you can get customers one at a time and make a decent income. But if you want to build a big business and make some real money, you've got to build team. It's just a fact. You've got to learn how to recruit, and you've got to be really good at it. And I had great conversations, not only with Curt, but Trey is somewhere on here. I know he is. Trey's
He's
somewhere
there.
on here.
I'm right here.
Live. Come on live. Let me tell you, I met this guy for the first time last week. And I'm thinking, okay, how busy are you in the business, Trey? He says, I really don't do a whole much. I work for Curt to help him grow his business with Juice Plus. I help him with videos. I help him. You have a production crew and a promoter right at your fingertips to help you grow this business as big as you want. I've listened to Trey and his ideas, and I sat down, I called Curt back, and I said, Curt, this guy's not really aggressively doing the business, but he should be. He should be. But one thing he's good at is helping you grow a big team and helping your team grow a big team.
I just put him on screen with you. He's right there.
Trey's going to be in. I'm sorry, what's that?
I just put him on screen with you.
I see that. I am going to tell you right now, Trey is part of what we're getting ready to do at this boot camp coming up. The first one I attend, and it's been around since 1989. I'm pumped up about it. But we're not coming in to do any flash dance. I'm not coming in to just be there, just speak and be in an audience. And I'm glad you heard me and pat me on the back. I don't want any of that. I want to find 5 to 10 people that pay attention to how to build a dynasty. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to open up the floodgates and give you every secret possible that we have. Now, let me mention to you what I heard today. The greatest gift you can give to the people, I wrote these notes down right now, just wrote this down while we're listening to all of you. The greatest gift that you're going to be able to give to the people you love is to live up to your full potential. That's what Curt's doing for you right now. What does that look like for you? What do you really want? Forget about logic. Forget about limitations. Forget about being practical. Forget about being normal. If you could have anything you wanted, do anything you wanted to do, and be anything you wanted to be, what would you choose to be? Who would you be? What specific actions would you have to do to get it? What would you have to become? How would you act in different situations? You need to pay attention to those questions. And you need to dig deep and get out of your comfort zone. Look, I'm not here to pat anybody on the back. That's not who I am. But I know how to produce winners. I know how to produce champions. That's one thing I'm good at. And one thing I want to do, I'm not going into Atlanta, Georgia to sit up there and just get patted. I don't want to get patted on the back. I don't want that. My job is to promote other people and make them the superstar. If you do that, you build a big business. But listen carefully. Once you've created a clear mental picture of what you really want, and you begin to visualize living in total alignment with the person you need to be to achieve your vision, you're going to see yourself engaged in positive actions, as Curt is showing you today, that you need to do every single day. And make sure you see yourself enjoying the process. Enjoy, do it with a smile. Try doing everything with a smile and watch how much easier it's going to become for each and every one of you. See yourself smiling. We have videos now. You should be smiling every time Curt's speaking. You should, if you're on video, you smile. If you got people that are tuning in to your team, that part of your team, and you're leading them, smile. Let them see a part of you that's important for them to grow and feel that they're in the right team. So see yourself smiling, so you're doing anything, whatever you're doing, no matter what it is, so that you're filled with a sense of pride for your self-discipline to follow through on what you want to do. So picture the look of determination on your face as you confidently and persistently make those phone calls. Put a mirror up on the desk. Look at yourself as you make those calls. What do you look like? If your face is smiling and you're having a good time and you look good, your call's going to be good. But if you look like poo-poo, I'm going to tell you, your call's going to sound like poo-poo. Okay, so
And
be
smell
on that
like it
call
too.
and give it everything you got. What's that?
And smell like it too.
Exactly, without a question. So you want to persistently make those phone calls. You want to work on your reports, working with your people. You want to finally take some action and make some progress on that project you've been putting off far too long, that event that you want to promote. You know, I hear some of you say, well, there's an event 6 weeks from now. There's events every day. Are you involved? You want to build a dynasty? You don't need to be special. It's not about skills. You can teach skills. You can't teach attitude.
Yep.
You can't teach attitude. You either got it or you don't. I can teach skills. I can take anyone in here, teach them how to throw a left jab, and I can teach them how to be an NMD. Same thing. You can teach skills. You cannot teach attitude. So it's about attitude. Visualize your coworkers, your customers, your family, your friends, your spouse, responding to your positive attitude and your optimistic outlook. Listen, I go to some events and I meet some people that are supposed to be leaders, and to me, they're boring as hell. Sorry. Wake their butts up by you being excited and getting them excited, and they're going to help you give more and do more. You've got Curt Beavers. Are you kidding me? Do you know who Curt Beavers is? Most of you do not know. He's one of the top, if not the top money earner in North America. He's one of the top 3 for sure. Now, how do you not want to learn from a guy like this? He's not going to blow his horn. I'm going to blow it. When I get to Atlanta, you're going to find out who Curt Beavers is. And you're going to see a Curt Beavers you've
You're
never
gonna
seen
scare him to
before.
death, Gary.
I'm going to scare him to death. I'll do whatever I got to do. But Curt Beavers is going to be Curt Beavers you've never seen before. We're going to pull the secrets out of how he built this dynasty. And he didn't do it by himself.
I thought we were doing that
But
Monday
he's a
night.
master at it. He's a master. And I'm going to urge you, when we hang this thing up, you get on the phone, you do 3 ways, but you sell that boot camp. You get
Hey,
everybody.
Katie, aren't we going to tell
Oh.
him some of those secrets on Monday night?
Listen, I'm glad you brought that up. Monday night, I'm honored to be the host for Curt Beavers on the Keep Punching University call. So I'm going to urge you through the whole weekend. How many people can you call and put on that call Monday night? Because I'm gonna start breaking them up open a little bit on Monday night. But when we get to Atlanta, baby, I'm gonna tell you what, we go rock and roll. You want to build a dynasty? We're going to teach you how to build a dynasty.
Yeah,
And
it's,
forget what
it's getting
anybody
sold
told
out
you.
too. So I mean, if you want to come, book your tickets because it's getting sold out. So
Book it, baby, because we're going to have a show. It's going to be an extravaganza. We know things. Curt and I know things from a call we were on yesterday that we cannot tell you or we get fired. Okay, but I'm going to tell you this, 2025 is going to be a record-breaking year. The next 2 years, we're going to break records like never before. You're either going to be part of it or you're not. It's that simple. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be at least the one person you think that might not be a great recruiter that'll bring you to someone that'll change the whole game for your business because of what Curt's teaching you right now.
Hey,
Curt
Carrie,
is just, you are lucky.
Carrie, thank you for jumping on here. I put him on the spot, so I appreciate it. But hey, we are gonna, if you got a prospect Monday night, get them on there. We'll they won't be a prospect when the call's over. They will either scare them to death or they'll be on your team one. So, all right,
Curt
Katie, we're gonna do
Beavers.
Q&A. We're gonna do
My
Q&A.
pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, buddy.
See you later.
See ya. All right, guys, Q&A time. And here's the deal. I'm going to pull the, anybody that wants to ask a question, thanks for joining us for the Power Hour, by the way. But if you were here for the Power Hour only and don't have any questions, you're welcome to get back to doing whatever you got to do because we don't want to keep you. But if you would like to jump on here and ask a question, raise your hand, say you want to talk, and it's a open forum here. Who's up first?
I just want to congratulate Kathy for joining us. She's our cousin, and she's
Awesome.
been to Peachtree. Yeah, she's been to Peachtree, so I'm glad she's on here this morning with us.
Kathy, glad you're here. Maybe I'll see you in Peachtree again. Who knows? Okay, who else? I know we've been on a long time, so we don't have to extend this, but I just want to be here for you guys. Some of you just have questions. You don't know who to ask to get them answered, and I want to be here for that. And here's the cool thing. If you ask a question, don't think it's a dumb or not a good question because somebody else was thinking about asking it too. So who else? Who else? Okay. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being a part of our call today. And don't forget the Power Hour we've got. Let me put this back on the screen really quick. I think I've got a couple things I want to share with you. Just don't forget, you can go to the website and the Power Hour's there whenever you want to do it. 24/7. There's a guided version and just a real focused, quiet version. December, we got a couple calls coming up, start the month. We really believe in a rhythm of starting the month, finishing the month. So there's one on December the 4th and one on the 18th to end the month out. And we're going to have a special, Trey and I are really working hard on some content to help you prepare for the next year. If your field is planted, you can be ready for the harvest. What you don't want is January 1st to come along and your field's bare and you haven't even plowed it yet. So we're going to do a series and some information in December about what can you do to have your best year ever. And that's going to be the special training content in December. And if you need to find me, I got on this crazy technology early enough. I'm just at Curt Beavers anywhere you want to find me. Facebook, Twitter, X, Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, and I'll connect with you and would love to partner with you in this journey. So I hope you have an amazing day. I hope you have an amazing Thanksgiving with your family. Thanks for joining us, and we'll do this again next month. Be blessed.